Movement should be a beautiful practice of self-love. It should be a practice of showing your body how much you care about yourself. Hello, my name is Zoe. I am a movement and strength coach, as well as a sustainable lifestyle advocate and environmentalist. This New Year's, I'm sure a lot of you are setting resolutions based on movement. These are my 6 tips for setting sustainable, meaningful movement habits that will help you work towards a lifelong relationship with your body. For this video, I am going to be talking about how to actually build a relationship with your body and movement that is sustainable and you can maintain in the long term. However, I also want to add a content warning that this can be really triggering for folks that are dealing with eating disorders, body dysmorphia, exercise addictions, or orthorexia. We are going to be talking about ways to move your body in sustainable ways, but if you are dealing with any of these things, I am not a professional counselor. I'm here to talk from my own personal experience. This is something you think might be triggering to you, please do not hesitate to turn this video off, seek professional help, or take care of yourself the best way that you know how. My first tip, if you are serious about trying to start moving more this new year, is to see this as a holistic practice that you have to do working with your body. What I mean when I say this is that there's a lot more behind the scenes that has to happen to make moving your body and exercising feel good. We're talking about things like sleeping enough, drinking enough water, eating food that's actually fueling your body, showing your body how much you care. My second tip here today is to start with what you know, and if you don't know what you're doing, then learn. I think one of the number one mistakes that I see folks doing in the gym or in any sort of environment where they start moving and training for the first time is that they want to go really ham, really hard. They want to prove their dedication. So they want to do everything as fast as possible without actually really knowing how to do the exercises safely. Because if you're starting off, you haven't really moved your body much in the last little while, you don't have much core strength, your coordination might not be exactly where it needs to be. Jumping into doing a bunch of burpees and jump squats probably isn't the safest or the most fun thing to do. Instead, if you move back, start really working on the foundational movements, your hip hinges, your core engagement, really learning how to connect with your muscles, your body, and move in a way where you have complete control, you're actually going to see more sustainable improvements and less likely to get injured in the long run. A good motto that I like to use for this, and especially with my clients, is that if you can't do a movement slowly, you have no business doing it quickly. So my third tip is to play the long game. Consistency is always key when it comes to getting in shape, moving more, and feeling better in your body. It is not about doing the hardest 2-week boot camp, 1-week fad diet. Those things are not going to work in the long run. They're not going to help you see sustainable changes, and they're not going to help you actually prepare for a lifestyle of taking care of your body and taking care of your mind. In order to do that, we actually need to start with smaller steps, things that we can do consistently for a lifelong connection with your body. So what does this actually look like? Instead of starting the New Year's off by training every single day, doing HIIT workouts, eating nothing but smoothies and protein powder, it means really checking in with where you're at and setting realistic goals you can consistently keep up with. Tip number 4 is kind of building up to tip number 3, and that is building really sustainable, smart goals that you can actually achieve. In the short term, if you don't have little wins you can do every day, if you don't have small achievements that you can actually see yourself crossing off the list, it's going to be really hard to actually stay motivated and keep on track with those movement goals. This one can often be hard because I know a lot of people are really excited about the possibility of what they can achieve, and a large part of that often is wanting to move past wherever you think you've been and move past the things you think are holding you back or the habits that might not be the healthiest anymore. And I definitely do this sometimes too, where I set super high goals for myself that realistically don't align with where I'm at currently. Going to the gym for 2 hours a day when you have the time and are committed to it can be a really amazing practice. However, if you're not used to it and you don't have an extra 2 hours in your day right now, trying to block that out is not something you're able to keep up in the long run. My 5th tip, and this is probably one of the biggest ones and one of the ones that can be the most difficult to address as individuals, is asking yourself whether or not your goals are actually based on movement and getting your body feeling good and moving more, or if it is internalized fat phobia, being socialized in the world, regardless of what gender we're socialized as, regardless of how we identify, see ourselves through the lens of society. And this can often impact the way that we view ourselves, the way that we view our goals, and the way that we set goals for ourselves within our movement. This time of year is prone to super fat phobic rhetoric and dialogues that really focus on your body being this enemy of yours. You know, you've sat around for the holidays, you've eaten too much food, you've gained weight, and now you have to fight it to lose it all. And this really is based on that idea that you won't be able to love yourself, you won't be able to be as confident as you want, you won't be able to find the love that you want, your life won't be as fulfilled until you reach these new standards of what someone's supposed to look like or feel like in their body. This internalized fat phobia, this internalized idea that if you can change your body, other parts of your life will improve, is something that needs to be addressed beyond just the world of movement. So we're going to talk about this a bit at the end about visioning and setting habits and goals. But one of the biggest things I think that is super important to address is asking yourself if your goals are actually based around how your body moves and feels, or if they're about things that you think will happen or become possible if you lose weight or change how you look. Movement should be a beautiful practice of self-love. It should be a practice of showing your body how much you care about yourself. Focus on how you feel while you do it, how your mental health is, how your physical health is, and how empowered you feel when you do that, instead of focusing on the aesthetics that you're going to get at the end. My sixth and final tip is find something to do that you really truly love. I think that a lot of folks, especially if they're kind of caught into this idea of Instagram fitness and what it means to look a certain way or to have a certain lifestyle, see people doing certain workouts and think that that's what you have to do to be healthy, to move your body, or to train regularly. So this might be everything from doing HIIT workouts first thing in the morning followed by protein shake. It might be the idea that you have to start running and doing yoga every day. It might be the idea that you have to go to the gym and start lifting heavy weights to get the dream booty. And all of these can be really amazing, beautiful forms of exercise, but if you don't feel good doing them, and if your body doesn't like what you're doing, you're not going to keep it up, and you're not actually going to see a sustainable change towards moving more. Definitely want to focus on finding things that you and your body really love to do. Your body wants to move every single day, but it's just about finding something that fits with you. And that might change over time. If you've been sedentary for a while, it can take a while to kind of work out those kinks, find something that feels good. But the best way to do this is to start at a level that you're actually at and sustainably try to increase what you're doing over time. Just because someone you like or care about likes one form of exercise does not mean that you have to like it. Remember that there is something out there for you. You will find some way that your body likes to move. Whatever it is, take the time to find that and honor that your body knows what it really enjoys and that that's okay. So my last recommendation, and one of the biggest things that I cannot stress enough, is to ask for help when you need it. Really don't be afraid to go out there and seek professionals' advice, find friends who are going through the same journey, peers that you can talk to about what you're going through. So this might be working with a trainer like myself to really learn safe movement patterns, things that feel good for your body and that you know you can do sustainably. It might be going online and taking the time to actually watch not just someone do a million jump squats, but watching a powerlifter teach you how to actually do a squat safely and securely using your core. Finding friends that are in the same position as you and that can support you in a way that is not based on your aesthetics or your physical appearance, but instead based on how your body is feeling and how you are moving every single day. So now that we've gone over the 6 tips for how to take a sustainable movement practice into the new year with you, we're going to talk about how to actually set realistic goals, habits, and expectations for yourself. So the first thing, as we kind of discussed earlier about whether or not your goals are based on internalized fat phobia or the actual desire to move more, is to create a holistic vision of what you want your life to look like. Now, I don't just mean movement, I don't just mean like physically how it looks, I mean, what do you want in your dream reality? How does your life feel to live? How do you feel moving through the world? What tastes, smells, and sights do you have around you? You can do this through words, you can do this through pictures, you can do this through poetry, whatever feels best for you, but really take some time to sit and visualize into that idea of where you want to be. Once you do that, you can really start to highlight some of the key differences between where you're at right now and where you want to be. For myself, and I'm sure for a lot of you out there as well, movement has often been phrased and seen as a form of punishment or something that you do because you've been bad. Definitely for me, what was really helpful was changing that mindset and seeing that it is a privilege I have to move my body every day. It is a privilege I have to have a body that is able of moving, even if it's not always the way I want it to. It really is an honor that I have, and it is my job as a human to take care of my body the way I would a pet, or the way I would encourage a loved one to. Visualize that holistic picture, really highlight the same as we talked about in tip number 5, whether or not your goals are actually based on moving more and feeling better in your body, or if there's other things you want to achieve. We definitely see a lot of rhetoric out there about how if you lose weight, you're going to find love easier. If you want to find a meaningful romantic connection, that's something you're able to do, but losing weight isn't going to change that. Instead, that has to be a goal and a vision in and of itself, really setting the intention on what you're looking for in a partner, what you want your life to feel like with that person, and then make your movement goals external to that without having them coupled together with the idea that this is what you have to do to find love. So once you've pictured that whole vision life, you've kind of put it all together, then you can start to find a few key habits and lifestyle changes that you can start today to really make that change possible. I know it can be super enticing to set a bajillion New Year's resolutions to really focus on everything you want to change, set the highest, loftiest goals out there. I find personally in my experience and when I'm working with clients as a movement and strength coach that the best way to start is actually to work on 3 different levels of goals, 3 at a time, no more than that. So the first is going to be your daily win. You want something that you can do every single day, that you know you can do every single day, that you can check off a box and say, I did that. I am doing this for myself, I am doing this for my body, and it feels great. You want to drink a liter of water before noon every day. Another one that can be really helpful is to say, I'm going to make my bed first thing every morning, to get in that habit of taking care of the space you live in, taking care of the things around you, and just taking more intention with your life. Everything from wanting to eat more vegetables a day, wanting to eat at least 1 piece of fruit a day. Try to find one small thing that you know you can achieve without a doubt. So the second one you want to set, the goal for yourself or the habit development, is you want to set a weekly quota of something and use to work towards a larger term goal. So say you do want to run a 5K eventually. You're not going to go on New Year's Day and run a 5K. Instead, you can set the weekly quota to say, I want to go for a run 3 days a week. Starting off in the first week, this might look like walking for 2 minutes, jogging for 1 minute, and then each time you do this, taking time to rest in between, you can increase that time, take a little bit longer. As you go, you can start learning more about running theory, how to do it safely, so that next thing you know, you're able to run a 5K sustainably and safely. This is a really great way to focus on little victories. Instead of saying, I want to run this many kilometers in the first week, saying, I just want to do it. If it's weight training, saying, I want to go train at the gym 3 days a week. That might be a little bit more difficult depending where you are with lockdowns, but there's a lot of great body weight exercises you can do at home. This brings us to our third larger dream or Lonsdale goal, and this is something that you're working towards and supporting with your first 2. So ones that I've kind of mentioned earlier are running a 5K. Maybe you want to do a certain number of pull-ups, feel stronger in your body. There's so many different things that you could want to do with this. And so this is the larger scale vision that you keep in mind while you're working on the smaller goals. Sometimes for me, these aren't actually things that you can quantify. Often for me, these are just feelings that I'll have. I say, I want to train this many times a week. I want to eat better for myself. I want to get to a point where I feel really grounded and strong in my body. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you find it helpful for setting your own personal movement goals for this new year. Remember that your body is your #1 ally in this journey towards movement, in this journey towards sustainable lifestyle that supports your mental and physical health. You cannot do this without taking care of your body. So once again, drink lots of water, eat lots of vegetables, move often, but in a way that feels good for you. My name is Zoe. If you found this video helpful, please like down below, leave a comment if you have any questions or want to see another video like this in the future, and press that subscribe button so you know when I upload next. Thanks, have a great new year.